Good.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one must say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one must say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as
Hello, bonjour, and bonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Riel Kunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on effective leadership. So in Nigeria, I am not too sure if I can see you, Dr. Kayode. We have Dr. Adeyokan Kayode. And here in Alberta, we have Dr. Christine Gibson. Hi. So at this moment, I will just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Dr. Christine, because I don't see Dr. Kayode.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought we were reading my bio. So I'm a family physician and I'm a trauma therapist, and I'm an author of a book called The Modern Trauma Toolkit. And I've been working in health equity for about 20 years now. I've run two nonprofits. One is Global Family Med Foundation, which helps develop primary care systems overseas. We primarily work in Uganda and Nepal these days. And my newer foundation is called the Belong Foundation, and it's a takeoff from a company we've created called Safer Spaces Training, which helps organizations become, I say trauma informed, but it's basically emotional regulation in the workplace. So that is probably a quick nugget about me.
Wow. It's such a great honor to have you. And I am really looking forward to hear more of your message. And thank you for saying yes. And thank you for saying yes. It's such a great honor to have you. Dr. Kayode, can you hear me? If you can just say something.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can, but we don't see your face.
Okay, I'm trying to connect with my laptop. I'm using my tablet phone. Okay. I think my laptop will be better for this presentation. So, okay, let me on my video, then later, if you had me to, okay, I'm here. Okay, yes, so it's a pleasure to be here. Let me say good afternoon if you are listening from other parts of the world. In Nigeria, for example, this is just 4:07. I know we are 7 hours difference behind your location. So it gladdens my heart to be here today. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Adeyokan Kayode. I'm a multiple award-winning thought leader, leadership coach, and also a life coach. So I'm a business management strategist. I'm a seasoned educator with over 25 years experience, which span through subject teaching and school administration, growth and development.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Conferences,
It's such a great.
workshops, summits, seminar locally and internationally. So I count it a great privilege to be here. And I'm having here with me Christine Gibson. So it's a pleasure to come to everyone. I appreciate you.
Wow, wow. It's such a great honor to have you.
To be here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Kayode. It's such a great honor to have you, although I think you are experiencing some technical challenges, but we had quite a few, and then the rest. It's such a great honor to have you, and I am really, really looking forward to hear more of your message. So Dr. Christine, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming, maybe it's already here, I don't know. What will your billboard say if you happen to have your own billboard?
Yeah, it's such an interesting question. I actually just had one. So I was in New York City for my book tour last week. And so on May 24th, I did a literary reading. And so a young person in my life, we kind of have a mother-daughter relationship, although she already has a wonderful mother.
Right.
We created a video and it actually ran in Times Square. So it ran for 30 seconds, twice an hour for the day. And it was so amazing. So the video was like a promotional video of the book, but it was such an amazing experience. And at the same time, really disconcerting. I didn't want me to be kind of the thing that's promoted. So the first TED Talk that I gave was really about, rather than being an expert in community, I'm much more interested in amplifying the voice of community as expert. And so I don't know that I would have a billboard about me so much as something around the communities that I care about, the communities that I work with. Yeah. So if, when people talk about the book that I've written, I always try to say, I'm not trying to promote me as an expert. I'm trying to give people seeds and then they can plant those seeds and create a garden. So maybe the billboard would be for a garden center.
Wow, I love it. I love it. See, it's already been there and more coming, more billboards your way. I love that. I love that. I love the idea of it's like you're planting a seed. Each and every seed that you plant, it's gonna germinate, it's gonna grow. So I love it. I love it. It's all about like impacting many lives around you. That's how I view life. Like as long as you are making real impact out there, you're fulfilling your purpose in this world. I love it. I love it. How about you, Dr. Kayode? What will your billboard say? Maybe it's already down there in Nigeria. Who knows? What will your billboard say? Oh, you are muted. That's why. Unmute yourself, Dr. Kayode. You're muted.
Okay. So
now you can go ahead.
Can I speak up? Okay.
Yes,
so on my billboard,
it's like we're having some technical issues here. Yeah, I believe we're just experiencing some technical issues. But you know what? We will hear more about your billboard.
I wish that I have people, then the sky will be their starting point. So that's what I wish to have on my billboard, for people to be more intentional in their relationships, in their career, in whatever endeavors they engage in. Being you to achieve more goals, it helps you to get better results for your businesses, and also in your career too. You go further than one who doesn't have.
Right. I love that. Yeah, I believe we're having some technical challenges over your end, Dr. Coyote, but I just got one point where you said the sky is a starting point. I always say that the sky is no longer the limit. So it kind of joined together. The sky is no longer the limit, but it's your starting point. I always say it's your point of view. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Wow. So I believe my billboard will be that billboard driving down the highway, and it's going to say what? The sky is no longer the limit, but the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. it kind of connects with yours as well as with Dr. Christian, how the way you just grow your plant and then your plant grows. You water, you take care of the plant in order for it to grow. I love all of the billboards anyways. So we're going to get started. We're going to get started with Dr. Christian Gibson. So Dr. Christian Gibson is a family physician in Calgary, Alberta, in Calgary, Canada, with a background in equity work, medical education, and global health. She is also a skilled facilitator as well as a speaker. So she engages in building individual and community resilience. Wow. Her writing creates the woven narrative between her interests, well-being, trauma recovery, and the power of story. And her first book, The Modern Trauma Toolkit, has been released this spring 2023 through Hachette Go in the US as well, and John Murray in the UK. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Dr. Christian Gibson.
Thank you. So I think you'd like me to speak to leadership at work?
Yes, the stage is yours, Dr. Christian.
Sure. So I've experienced leadership in a variety of formats. I mean, I've worked as a physician under a number of leaders in hospital settings, in community settings, and then in specialty clinic settings. But I mean, I've been working since I was 14. So there's always been somebody who's been in leadership in my workplace environment. And it's only, I wouldn't say recently, but probably starting in 2008 is when I walked into some leadership roles myself. And one of the things that I've struggled with, and I've seen others struggle with a fair bit, is measuring their own stress reactions and learning how to shift those. So there was actually a podcast put out by Brene Brown last month where she was in a roundtable. I wouldn't say she was interviewing, but she was speaking with Adam Grant and Simon Sinek. So obviously huge gurus on workplace, efficacy and organizational environments. And they said that the biggest concern they were hearing from CEOs right now is emotional regulation. And that was really music to my ears because at that same time, we were co-founding a startup, Safer Spaces training programs. And what our intention is to help people understand how they're responding to stress. So workplaces can be very stressful. And especially if you're public facing, people coming in from the public can bring their stress into the environment as well. So not just managing the stress responses in leadership, because that really does affect all of the employees because of their decisions and policies, interactions between employees who can go into fight, flight, and freeze. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then customers who are coming in, or clients or patients for those of us who are in healthcare, and they're not managing their stress response and not even recognizing it as stress. And so one of the book titles that I think is the easiest to understand this is Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Bruce Perry, a psychiatrist in the States. They co-wrote a book called What Happened to You? And what we tend to ask in environments where somebody is in fight, flight, or freeze is, oh my gosh, what's wrong with them? And it's a lot more grace and an understanding of neurobiology to ask, what happened to them? So rather than to come from a place of accusation, to come from a place of curiosity. And I know I'm not always that perfect person, but this is something that I think if we strive to do it, we can create psychologically safe workplaces. And I think a lot of people deal with discomfort at work. Sometimes it's physical, but more often it's psychological or social. And there's a lot that can be done around that. So this is something that really interests me. We've been developing curriculum around what we're calling trauma-informed workplaces, but it basically just means what happens to your body when you're in stress. So fight and flight are sympathetically driven responses. So fight can look like argumentative, irritable, just feeling really tense inside your body, and a lot of movement-based energy. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we need our sympathetic system to be able to move our bodies at all. But when it goes into overdrive is when it's uncomfortable for us and others. And because I'm a pretty quick moving person, sympathetic is my default. So now I'm kind of recognizing that in myself. Flight energy is leaving their job. So we're seeing the great resignation of people just saying, I'm out of here, or people switching jobs every year or two. And a lot of that also has to do with that sympathetic nervous system of flight. This feels dangerous. I'm getting out. And freeze is basically quiet quitting. So all of the catchphrases that we're seeing in workplace right now can be expressed through thinking about how the body handles stress. So that is to do with our parasympathetic or our resting nervous system. And when that's engaged, we can be very calm, we can be quiet, we can be kind. But when it's overactive, we can be still, we can be stuck, we can be frozen and paralyzed. We can't get out of bed, we can't get off the couch, we can't do our tasks. And so what I think more workplace leadership who understands what an overactive nervous system looks like in both of those directions, how it's affecting them, how it's affecting the employees, and gaining a skill set. So both psychoeducation, which is understanding what it looks like, noticing how to check in with yourself, but also what can you do to shift it, not just in yourself, but in others. So I think that that is key to creating psychologically safer work environments. And it's something we're finally starting to recognize is really important at work. I know it's affected me quite dramatically in different workplace environments. And I think most people are recognizing that that is something important. And whether or not it's the people in leadership recognizing, the employees are recognizing and kind of demanding it, saying, I want this workplace to be psychologically safe. What are you going to do about it? Even during the job interview. So I do think times are changing around this recognition. So I think I'll just stop with that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, am I audible enough? Wow. Wow, Dr. Christine, you've mentioned that the emotional aspects, like of an individual in the workplace, because I believe like we spend more time in the workplace than we spend with our families and whatnot. So your emotional well-being, it has to be a priority in your workplace. And you've mentioned the safer communication strategies that there should be, like how to manage stress, for example, at workplace. It's something you should be able to kind of learn about that. Thank you so much for sharing more information on the well-being in the workplace, Dr. Gibson. Thank you. So we're going back to Nigeria. We're going back to Nigeria, where we have our brother here, Dr. Adegun Kayode. Dr. Adegun Kayode, he's a professor. Professor Adegun Joseph Kayode is an international sought-after keynote speaker, multi-award winning certified content marketing strategist, communications and leadership coach, and a certified public speaker. So in his capacity as a certified leadership and public speaking coach and a career counselor, he had delivered more than 100 keynote presentations and lectures at different online as well as offline forums that challenge audience to leverage their focus and pay attention to what matters the most at work, personal lives as well as in their career. That is why he is widely known as the go-to source on leadership, public speaking, as well as communication and entrepreneurship and management. So as a seasoned erudite scholar, he has 10 published books to his credit. Wow, wow. Presently, he is the Pro Vice Chancellor Africa at Wisdom University of Leadership, where he also doubles as a professor of leadership and management. More so, he works as a lecturer at the World Leadership University, where he lectures master's students on strategic leadership and management, digital marketing, as well as mass communication and business administration. So in his home country, which is Nigeria, he works as an instructor at Graduates College. I hope I didn't butcher that. College of Mass Communication and Technology, where he lectures on public speaking, new media, as well as digital marketing. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Dr. Adeogun Kayode.
All right, thank you very much. It gladdens my heart to be here today. First, I want to appreciate my friend, Dr. Kunene, and every other person listening to me at this point. I know it's indeed a sacrifice for you to be here today. Canada is 7 hours behind Nigeria, and we have so many persons who have made sacrifice to be here today. So I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening from. As you have rightly heard, my name is Professor Adeogun Kayode. The theme is strategies to business growth. You will indeed agree with me that strategy is very important to the success of any organization or any company. Or brand, as the case may be, and the mission will not be accomplished. So if the strategy, for example, is right, the vision will be actualized. But when the strategy is wrong, what happened to the vision and the mission? It is bound to fail. And it has been said over time that every organizational failure is traceable to wrong strategy. So hence, if you are a startup or if you own an organization, it becomes very important that you pay attention to the strategies that you are going to adopt to achieving the vision and the mission of your organization. So successful organizational failure, like I mentioned earlier, is usually traceable to the wrong strategy. So hence, successful organizations continuously tweak their strategies in order to ensure that what they are doing is what they need to do so that they can achieve the kind of results they expect. But sometimes, from experience, organizations are so faced with challenges, choosing a strategy that can work for them. For example, if there are strategies in the past that they have adopted but are not working, what should do an organization? For you to change the strategies that were used in the past. So hence it becomes very important for every organization, especially the chief executive officer or whoever that is in charge of implementing strategies, to pay attention to tweaking strategies or strategies the organization to grow from strength. So that will now take me to factors to be put into consideration in goals and objectives of organization. The first I would like to mention is competence. Put every strategies you have, if the leaders or if people you are put in charge of running the organizations, if they are not competent, what happens? The strategies will not be achieved. You will agree with me, or let me put it this way, probably the worst strategy that can befall any organization is the plague of an incompetent leader or an incompetent head. Costly as incompetence can be to an organization, it's somehow maybe tolerable at the lower cadre officers, because while the influence of a lower ranking officer is restricted and his incompetence has limited impact on the fortune of an organization, that of the head of an organization, for example, the CEO of an organization, have a far-reaching effect. So let me give you an analogy. The rot in fish starts from where? If a fish wants to get rot, it starts with the head. If the head is not content, achieving the goals and the mission of an organization becomes impossible. The decision of an incompetent leader will take a toll on the organization, and it will hold it back from achieving its vision and mission. So hence, the importance of having a competent, a reliable leader cannot be overemphasized. More than anything else, leaders are supposed to make decisions that will do what? That will propel the organization into prosperity and prepare them for what the future holds. But if the decision of a leader are wrong on a consistent basis, the only way for the organization or to go south. Yes, as imperfect persons, you can make mistakes once in a while as a leader. But when it becomes consistent, that is where your competence will be put into question. So the major task you have as a leader is to hand over your successor an organization that is more viral and more profitable than you. As one of the strategies to achieve your mission and vision cannot be overemphasized. Another strategy that I want to advise, or that I want to recommend, is maintaining integrity. And that is the most important attribute of a leader. Having a high integrity. Right? Integrity is important in leadership. You know why? Because every leader does one or two things. He either raises the organization up to his level or brings it down to his level. I mentioned competence of a leader. If you are integrity, it becomes very difficult to achieve the vision and mission of your organization. So the importance of maintaining integrity in your dealings with your subordinates and with your organization must be emphasized. It becomes very important that take into cognizance maintaining high integrity. I'll give you an example of my country, Nigeria. At a time in Nigeria, there was a rush of companies, especially in the financial sector, which seems to become successful overnight. But where there arose a storm, what happened? They were all blown away because they lacked integrity, right? The companies could not survive because what kept them strong were the underhand dealings they were involved in. So they went under when the tide changed. So what organization that harbor integrity make on the short run, what happened? They lose it in the long run. So the importance of having integrity in dealings with your subordinates, in dealings with your competitors too, and people around you in your community as a leader or as a business cannot be overemphasized. Yes, I mentioned earlier that having right strategy is also important. That is another way to achieve the vision and the mission of your organization. If you pay attention to my presentation, I did mention that a strategy is very important to the success of any organization. Organizations are usually run on vision, on mission, but strategy is the feet on which vision runs. If the strategy is right, the vision and the mission of the organization will be achieved. Right. But if otherwise, the table will turn, and achieving your vision and vision will becomes very important. Now, because of a want of time, the last but not the least point mentioned or recommend as to growing your business or your organization is to adopt innovativeness. In other words, innovation. For any organization to have the life of a diamond, you know what a diamond is? A diamond is always admired, always shining, always brightening. You know, for a company to have the life of a diamond, it must not just revolve with the market. It must be ahead of the market in bringing solutions to emerging needs of its customers. You must be innovative. You must not be in a place like a stagnant water. You must get out of your comfort zone to satisfy your clients or your customers, as the case may be. Doing this will make it a trendsetter, and it will position it to reap full benefits of its innovation. A business that waits for others to innovate before copying can be a lagger, and lagger stands the risk of being abandoned by customers, right? So the beginnings for a company when it comes to innovativeness cannot be overemphasized. So far I have mentioned one, the competence of the leader in achieving the objective and the vision of your organization. I've mentioned the importance of having a high integrity in relating with your customers, with your subordinates. This cannot be overemphasized. I also mentioned being innovative, getting out of your comfort zone, not being in a place like a stagnant water. I don't know if I have a luxury of time. I would have wished to continue my presentation, but I want to appreciate Dr. Kunene for this opportunity to leverage on your platform to share my thoughts on the subject of my presentation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Wow. You know, this is when I become a forever student. Yeah, like you've mentioned all the strategies for effective leadership. You started mentioning that each and every leader has to be an innovative leader. In order for you to lead your team very well, you'll have to be innovative. You'll have to view well your followers, your team. It's not, leadership is no longer that state of, being a dictator in that role that you're in, but you are just, you're building a team around you. Wow. I'm going to go back and watch the replay. Thank you so much, Dr. Kayode, for such a profound, much needed message on the strategies for effective leadership. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So our audience in line, if you happen, if you happen to have any questions for Dr. Kayode, for Dr. Gibson, please drop the questions in the chat box. And you know what? We're going to attend to your questions towards the end of the podcast. So you know what? It's not going to be a show without me showing up, right? So I'm the next and final speaker. But before I speak, I always share my bio. So please enjoy my bio, and then I'll come back and speak. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. Really, my goal as a mentor or as a coach is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to pursue success and drive sustainability. I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights.
Dr. Nampumelelo Rial Kunene is an international human rights policy analyst who consults on policies and procedures related to human rights compliance. She is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Lace Brown international speaker. This passionate leader holds a PhD with a discipline in leadership and business. Dr. Rial N. Kunene is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. She is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes. In a seriously funny way, Dr. Kunene is an award-winning author, 10 times #1 Amazon and international best-selling author. Her #1 best-selling book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. As a trainer, diplomacy protocol officer, and strategist, Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. She is also a true advocate for creating new policies that uphold human rights and prevent human rights violations. Dr. Kunene's purpose is to teach everyone about human rights and help organizations understand and promote human rights. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. This change maker, trailblazer, and revolutionary is pushing boundaries and creating a real change worldwide. Like a phoenix that never accepted defeat and rose from its own ashes, she wants to challenge you to unleash your greatness and rise to greater heights. Dr. Rial N. Kunene wears many hats. As a professional certified sales manager, CEO, certified travel counselor, publisher, medical esthetician, philanthropist, and a commissioner for oaths, following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalms 27 and 40 keeps her to rise to greater heights. The sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Dr. Rial N. Kunene.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Coyote, for sharing all the strategies for effective leadership. And Dr. Gibson, on the other side, she mentioned the workplace well-being as part of effective leadership. So, you know, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look at the more attributes of effective leadership. Wow. I'm gonna cover quite a few attributes of effective leadership, because each and every leader really is made of those attributes that makes him or her to become an effective leader. So the first attribute is going to be vision and purpose, being purpose driven, because great leaders, trust me, great leaders they have a vision. They always have a vision. Not only does a good leader view a situation as a whole, but they are passionate about their work and they are so committed enough to achieve positive results at any cost. So effective leaders, when they are challenged, really, they don't give in so easily, but they have an exciting idea of where they are going and what they are trying to accomplish in life, because leaders should always, they should also be like a they should also become like self-driven individuals. Such dedication is really, really required, since it instills a sense of responsibility in their team members for them to work harder in wanting to achieve better results for their company, their business. So leaders, really, they should be self-driven individuals. They should have that vision for that business, that, you know what, I want my business to grow in this way, in that way. The vision will be the drive in everything that that leader wants to do. So good people, you really don't have to see the whole staircase in life for you to get to the top, but you need to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say, that you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great in life. So get started today and become an effective leader, really. Like Dr. Kayode mentioned, that a leader, there should be integrity involved in your leadership. Yeah, so honesty and integrity, really, this is the supreme quality of leadership. It's unquestionable integrity, because great leaders, they always exhibit integrity at all times. Without it, trust me, there will be no real success that will be possible if you don't have integrity in your leadership. So you'll have to remember to lead by example as a leader. Make sure that your organization reinforces the importance of integrity to leaders at various levels, for them to see how fair one can be when everyone around them is being dishonest. Integrity is the key in leadership. So another attribute in effective leadership is decision-making capabilities. Decision-making capabilities, because a good leader isn't simply empowered to make decisions due to their position. But economy these days, economy goes on to recognize that great leaders, really, they know their limits and involve other voices and perspectives into their decision-making. So all leaders must occasionally make difficult decisions that require an authority and finality that will not please everyone around them. That's leadership. It doesn't mean that being a leader, you are always on top, but it means that at some point in time, you're not going to be pleasing those around you, because you'll have to make that decision that doesn't please those who are around you, but still you are in the right direction in your career goals. So it's a wake-up call, good people. It's a wake-up call. But when that alarm clock goes off, please, please, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and try to instill these attributes in your leadership. Become an effective leader in your business, in your organization. Be as creative as you can too, because creativity as well as innovation is a key. It's key to your leadership. As a good leader, you must be ready to transform your creative spirit into an innovation that sets you apart from the rest. So it is up to you to think outside the box when any issue arises, really. The thing that separates a leader from a follower is that a leader is creative and a leader is innovative. They are innovative to come up with unique ideas, to turn those ideas and goals into a reality. So be as creative as you can. So to join the elite club of good leaders, you need to focus on results, on what must be achieved by you and your team. So focus on those results. If you focus on that one, trust me, you'll be on your way to an effective leadership. Kings and queens, let's just face this. You can't give from an empty cup. You can never, ever give from an empty cup, but you'll have to fill your cup first. And then from the overflow, that's when you're going to be able to share with the world, because you can't give from an empty cup. So a leader is not the one who has secured that commanding position in a firm, but you'll have to have all these qualities that I've shared in order for you to focus on the needs of the company and the situation that you are in, because great leaders, they focus on strengths in themselves and in others. Why? I'm glad you've asked that, because if you lack some of these qualities that we've shared today, then you might be struggling to make that mark in the world of leadership. So you need all these attributes in order for you to become an effective leader in your business, in your organization. You need all these attributes. As flight attendants always say, that put on your oxygen mask first before you go out there and assist the person who's sitting next to you, because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help, really, you could possibly go down. If that flight goes down, you will definitely go down. So put on that oxygen mask first to yourself before you go out there and try to be a hero to the world, because the reality is your journey to be a better person, it starts with you. It doesn't start with your neighbor. It doesn't start with your family. It doesn't start with your spouse, with your children. It starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core, it will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach your full potential. So don't ever, ever give up on your heart's desires. Just recall this, just in case you can't find the way. You can have the drive within you to become what you really want in life. Can you say this after me? I can have the drive within me, or maybe just put it in the chat box. I can have the drive within me to become what I really want in life. You know what? Let's affirm it together. As you're watching and listening under my voice, I want you to affirm this. Affirm this by placing your left hand on your chest and raise your right hand and say that I can have the drive within me to become what I really want in life. Can you say it one more time? Say it one more time, as if you have faith in your own powerful voice. And guess what? It will echo throughout the whole universe. Say, I can have the drive within me to become what I really want in life. Just give yourself a round of applause, because yes, you can have the drive within you to become what you really want in life. You can have the drive within you to get where you want to be in life. It's inside of you. It's not from the outside of you, but the drive is just inside of you. You know, it's so funny. It's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many, when they try to say my name, they always butcher my name. They always butcher my name, but Nompumelelo really, Nompumelelo, my own language, means mother of all success. So you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success. No matter what comes my way, I'll have to chase after success. So if I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve? Maybe let me say in the next 6 months. I know myself, I am one of those people. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. So as a coach or as a mentor, like many of us here, my goal is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired actions to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. I so wish that you can just tell yourself that, you know what, enough is enough. It's high time I go out there and make a difference. Make a difference in my community, make a difference in my organization, make a difference to yourself. But in order for you to be the change that you want to see in this world, in order for you to go out there and make a difference, you know what? You've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. Really, that hungry lion in the jungle, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're the giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. And it's so funny though, because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what, I'm a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see a lion, I'll have to run. I believe that's the lion mindset that we need in order for us to become effective leaders, really. That's the lion mindset that we need in order for us to rise to greater heights, because I believe that we all rise together, and we rise to greater heights by lifting each other up instead of tearing anyone down. You know, it's so funny, when I was in the eighth grade, let me just drink some. When I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. Really, that English teacher, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me. And it also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. So I want to encourage you, if you're watching and listening under my voice today, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes. Since the phoenix has to die, burn, experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down. Write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. And I know you've heard this before, that your setback is your setup for your comeback. Your setback is your setup for your comeback. So if I can be honest with you, I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months. I don't know what dreams you have for your own future, but here is one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe, I believe that we are all destined for greatness. With God, we are all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gifts and following God's idea, it will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And the late Dr. Miles Monroe continued saying that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the goals, all the visions, all the skills, all the talents, and all the dreams have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me listening to all these amazing messages, it just gave me sleepless nights. And I remember very well when I first started journaling my first book. Now I have 10, because I told myself that, you know what, I understand that I have everything around me to reach my full potential. So the same mindset that I had, I'm so determined even this year to rise to greater heights with as many motivated individuals as I can. Those who are just ready to start, grow and start and scale their businesses within 90 days. Or maybe you are that individual who wants to write and publish your #1 bestseller book within 90 days. Trust me, I just want to rise to greater heights with you. So I offer a free, no obligation 30-minute friendly Zoom call, so that we can kind of go through what you really want to achieve in life, to gain clarity on what you want, or what goals you've set for your own destiny. So book that call at my website at www.risetogreaterheights.com. And yes, we're going to arrange that call, and we're going to just have a chat to see if we can actually work together. If you are a public speaker, maybe you're an author, a coach, an entrepreneur, or maybe that motivated professional who just wants to, multiply your income by doing what you really love in life. Maybe you want to get highly booked and get highly paid as an author or as a speaker, or maybe you just want to speak with a new level of confidence and clarity just using your book. Or perhaps you just want to scale your business. Trust me, book that call. If you want to write your book, maybe you just want to sign up like paid coaching clients. Please go on my website, www.risetogreaterheights.com, and book that consultation call, because I just want to empower you to become highly effective and an inspiring leader with a personalized, measurable, as well as a scalable program. So book that call now. I also have a masterclass coming up. If you are interested to write and publish your #1 bestseller book, I've got that masterclass where I'll be showing you the 3 super easy steps for you to write and publish your #1 bestseller book within 90 days. Then I will guide you on the simple systems that drive traffic, sales, as well as revenue, because you don't write for the sake of writing, right? write, you are just writing for the sake of this other income, you know, the side hustle that will bring other income. So we just want your book to keep on selling. Then I will give you a blueprint on how to actually use your book to get more speaking engagements. So yes, it comes with a guarantee. Go out there and book that call. Book that call with me, and we're gonna sit down. I'll have to find out if you are a perfect fit for my program. So for also those who are interested, like to, you know, start, grow and scale their businesses, I've designed a bootcamp to ensure your success. So in this bootcamp, I will share the secrets on how to actually elevate your brand and your business. And then I will show you the smart way to skyrocket your income. And then I will give you the keys to unlock freedom to live a balanced life, because my ultimate goal is that you feel extremely confident about your purpose. We'll take it one step at a time, and you are going to transform. Trust me. If you give me your why, I will show you the how. So this consultation offers accountability, education, growth, as well as success. Because you know what? Growing up, I didn't have much in life because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. And I thank God that I missed that flight, because I'm still here. I'm still sharing my message. I'm still impacting as many lives as I can, because I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you, love you, love you, love you. I love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, amazing speakers. So at this moment, please feel free to share with the audience on how they can reach out to you. If you have any freebie that you want to share with the audience, and yes, please feel free, as well as sharing your final thoughts on effective leadership. So I can see you, Dr. Christine, if you can just go ahead, please.
Sure. Yeah, my book website is moderntrauma.com. And my professional site, where I can be reached as a speaker or to learn more about the other things I'm doing. I've completed a master's in medical education. I'm working on my doctorate right now in transdisciplinary studies. That's all at christinegibson.net. And the company that I mentioned is saferspacestraining.com. Thanks.
You can go ahead, Dr. Joseph.
Hello, can you hear me, please? Hello, can you hear me? I want to be sure. Okay.
Yes, you can go ahead. Oh, I think you're frozen. All right, I believe we've lost Dr. Kayode.
Good.
So yes, to our
my
audience.
final thoughts on my presentation. Hello? Hello?
Yes, you can go ahead. You were frozen.
Okay, so I was trying to mention that for leaders to be effective, they need to connect with people, their subordinates, because you first have to touch people's hearts before you can connect with them. In fact, just see mentioned that people don't care how much you know until you know how much you care. So you must care for your people. You must practice what you preach. I did in relationships with the people before you ask them to follow you as a leader. So to connect with me, you can on my social media platforms, on my Facebook, Adeogun Oluwakayode, I will type it in the chat box, Adeogun Oluwakayode, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. You can connect with me. Then I have one of my books on Amazon for
All right.
To Amazon, you will get a copy of my book, Fundamentals of Freelance Writing. I also have another book, of the book. This is the book. I have the wherever you are in any part of the world, I can always send it across to you. The book focuses on startup strategies from transitioning from paid employment to entrepreneurship. And my 8 other books are in soft copies. If you need it, I can always arrange to send it across to you. So once again, I want to appreciate Dr. Riel Kunene for this opportunity, and my co-facilitator, Christina Gibson. It's a pleasure you on this platform. I appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Adeogun. Your name has gone. I pronounce Adeogun as gone.
It's fine. Adeogun. You got that right.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Adeogun, as well as Dr. Christine. I believe our audience, they've been
welcome.
inspired with your message. They will definitely reach out to you. And we just want to appreciate you today for being here with us here at Rise to Greater Heights Network. And I totally understand that we're all busy. So for you to spare that 90 minutes just to be with us here, to share your wisdom, really, we don't take it for granted. So we're saying thank you to both of you. Thank you. So to our audience online, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope from all these amazing messages, from all these amazing speakers, you've been inspired, you've been motivated, and you are ready to rise to greater heights. So do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci, Sia Bonga.
Thank you.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All in one must say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All in one must say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games for chasing fame. Let somebody set the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights. As long as